everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we have a video today of Asselmo, and I think it's his second video that he ever made. And it was covered by another frauditor who I guess loves frauditors because they all think the way he does. So he covers Asselmo's video and pretty much, rah, rah, rah. Asselmo is so smart and so wonderful, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows the Constitution, and he knows his rights, and we all know that, he doesn't. But I thought about just grabbing Asselmo's video, but it's so much better watching it. You get to hear and see Asselmo being a fool, and then you get to see what this other idiot writes or types on the screen. So we get a twofer. So, enjoy.
The Rhode Island National Guard headquarters when, bam, police are called and come and violate his rights. Guys, keep in mind, this was only his second video to be posted back in the day on his YouTube channel in October of 2018. If you want to see the original video, I'll leave a link in the description. Either way, make sure to pound that like button. Make sure to follow or subscribe. Show your support by sharing these videos. And definitely leave me that comment. Pass or fail. You me out, so I appreciate it.
Probably calling the cops by now if they're not, they're idiots.
Right off the bat, even in the beginning of his frauditing career, he is admitting basically that he is not doing this for First Amendment rights or whatever they claim that they're doing this for. It's a game to him. As he says, they've probably called the police already. If not, they're idiots. He said it right there. Like, that was like a gold mine find, to hear him say that, because why would you want the police called other than to create content, to create a disturbance, to have something happen in your video other than you just standing around recording a fence and a few buildings behind that fence? So it was just great to hear him say that. I don't think I've seen this video before. If I did, I didn't catch it back then. But yeah, that was a perfect find. Just to hear him say that proves that Asselmo does not do these videos for First Amendment rights or any rights for that matter. He does it for the game of it and to get entertainment for his videos and money from his subscribers.
And guys, let me point something out. This facility is right in the middle of the city. Auditing America has never once went on the facility property. He's peacefully just taking pictures and video in public from the public sidewalk. No laws being broken, guys. And for all you bootlickers saying, well, this is a form of a base, since 9/11 he shouldn't be taking pictures, if you really believe in today's day and age in America you should not be allowed to freely take pictures from a public sidewalk, move the fuck out, go to North Korea, move to Russia, shit, I'll even help pay for your ticket.
Wow, yeah, the stupid is definitely strong with the both of them. Military installations are different than your city hall, your courthouse, other government buildings. It's part of our defense system. So it does fall under different regulations and policies and laws and statutes and all kinds of other stuff. Like, they don't care. That's just the problem, is they think, oh, I can see it from a sidewalk, so I can record it. That's not true. Like I said, this isn't your normal courthouse or city hall that you can stand on a sidewalk and record it as much as you want. So these laws actually were updated as of December 15th, 2022. So that's actually a good thing. I just noticed that looking at it. Anyways, so photographing and sketching defense installations, which would be the National Guard headquarters, whenever in the interest of national defense, the president defines certain vital military and naval installations or equipment as requiring protection against the general dissemination of information relative thereto, it shall be unlawful to make any photograph, sketch, picture, drawing, map, or graphical representation of such vital military and naval installations or equipment without first obtaining permission of the commanding officer of the military or naval post, camp, or station, or naval vessels, military and naval aircraft, and any separate military or naval command concerned, or higher authority and promptly submitting the product obtained to such commanding officer or higher authority for censorship or such other action as he may deem necessary. Whoever violates this section shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both. And what's sad is you can look this up online, easy. You know, I knew pretty much where to look. I grew up my whole life in the Army, so I kind of knew where to look. But even if you've never been around the military, you know, you could still find this online. It's not like it's top secret and only military personnel and their families know about it. It's right there online. But we all know frauditors do not educate themselves. They think that they can just do what they want. They're above the law, and nobody can say anything different. So this is basically explaining what falls under this. Okay. Now, therefore, by virtue of authority vested in me by the foregoing statutory provisions and in the interest of national defense, I hereby define the following as vital military and naval installations or equipment requiring protection against the general dissemination of information relative thereto. Okay, so this is basically what they are classifying as you need permission to record even from the sidewalk. All military, naval, or Air Force installations and equipment which are now classified, designated, or marked under the authority or at the direction of the President, the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of the Army, the Secretary of the Navy, or the Secretary of the Air Force as top secret, secret, confidential, or restricted. Now, I know frauditors are going to sit there and say, oh, it's a National Guard headquarters. It's not top secret or secret or confidential. No, you're right, but it is restricted. And it is, you should know it's restricted. First of all, it's behind a fence. Second of all, you can't even get into the fence without showing a military ID. So that would be restricted. So guess what? It falls under this completely. Anyways, and all military, naval, or Air Force installations and equipment which may hereafter be so classified, designated, or marked with the approval or at the direction of the President and located within any military, naval, or Air Force reservation, post, arsenal, proving ground, range, minefield, camp, base, airfield, fort, yard, station, district, or area. Okay, so the National Guard headquarters, it could be looked at as a base or a fort or a yard, but it's also an area. I mean, they're all an area. And basically when they throw area or district in there, you have a lot of military bases that actually own way more property than what they technically even use. Like, for instance, been stationed to Fort Knox or Fort Stewart twice in my life through my dad and my ex-husband. Fort Stewart owns so much land, and a lot of it they don't even use, but they own it. And it's not fenced off. There are signs, of course, and I'm sure there were signs at this naval or the National Guard headquarters. But of course, Asselmo's not going to get those because, you know, he doesn't believe in signage. But that's what they're talking about when it comes to area or district. Anyways, I'm going to leave this. Anybody wants to read it, they can. I'm not going to sit here and torture you with my voice and read any more of this, but you're welcome to pause it and read it. There is a couple more sections here that explain, what you cannot or why you cannot record it and what's under that restriction. It makes sense to anybody who is not a frauditor because, well, frauditors are lacking education severely. And, I'll just leave this up there for anybody who's interested in it.
This guy's looking at me with binoculars and all right. I'm all right.
What are you doing over here?
Just videotaping.
What are you videotaping?
Facility.
Why are you videotaping the facility?
It's my own purposes.
So, what's going on?
I don't answer questions.
Do you have any ID on your bud?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, we got a call for a suspicious person, okay? Because this is kind of suspicious behavior.
Okay, what crime do you suspect me of committing?
So, before we act stupid.
Unfortunately, guys, the ship's already sailed on that one. She's already acting that way, thinking he has to ID simply because he's in public. Guys, I don't think people realize suspicious activity is not illegal. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a felony. And suspicious activity is subjective to one's point of view. What's suspicious to you might not be suspicious to me. Auditing America is definitely well within his rights to take pictures and video from the public easement or sidewalk, and definitely under no obligation to ID. Let's continue.
Okay. First of all, reasonable suspicion is not based on one's opinion. Reasonable suspicion, a police officer may have reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed if, based on all the facts and circumstances of the situation, a reasonable police officer would have the same suspicion. The police officer does not need physical evidence in order to have reasonable suspicion. Also, no, he doesn't technically have the right to stand on any area, whether it's the sidewalk, the middle of the road, on top of his car, and film that military installation. I've already gone over that one. So the only one really being stupid is Asselmo, and she knew it. He's recording a military installation. They call the police. The police come out. They ask him, why are you filming? Do you have ID? And he keeps repeating, I don't answer questions. Like a petulant child. That's going to make him even more suspicious. It's a military installation. They take this stuff very serious. 9/11 would be one big clue as to why.
Okay? Let's just talk about when you're standing in front of a facility that's a government building, and you're filming it like that, you caught the attention of the security guards, right? There might be some cause for concern for who you are and if you intend to do anybody any harm over here.
Well, I have no ill will.
All right, well, I can't take you.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw that up there. I'm not sure how you expect to be taken seriously when you don't know the difference between feelings and feelings, but keep on going on.
Well.
All right, well, I can't take your word for it, okay?
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to identify yourself.
Well, do you know that we're standing in a public property?
That's fantastic.
And
I'm
unless
police,
you're...
Okay?
I understand.
I'm investigating something right now.
Okay, so am I. You should know that unless I'm being suspected of a crime, I don't have to provide ID.
Well, until I can determine that you are not committing a crime, I'm going to ask you for your ID.
Well, I think I'm going to have to decline to that, ma'am. Do you have what's your name and badge number?
You can decline. It's on my chest.
What's your name? I don't see your name in your chest.
Well, you haven't identified yourself to me either. So
I don't have to, ma'am. You're a government official. You're entitled to identify yourself.
Fantastic.
What's your name and badge number?
If you do not identify yourself to me,
yes.
And we continue to do this,
yes.
Can you tie me up?
Yes.
Okay. Let's not make a bigger thing than we have to.
It's not. I'm just doing a lawfully protected.
Can you identify yourself as a journalist then?
I don't have to, ma'am. This is the United States of America. No, I don't,
I
ma'am.
think you need to review the laws.
Did this officer really imply that he's required to show journalist credentials and he needs to review the law? I mean, honestly, guys, it seems like Auditing America knows more about the law than she does. I would honestly suggest that she goes back to the academy and brushes up on her Constitution, especially focusing on the First Amendment, freedom of press. Let's continue.
No, the officer did not state he was required to show press ID or press pass because he's claiming to be press. She asked him if he could produce a press ID since he's being a man-child and refusing to show his actual driver's license. That's what she was asking for, but, it doesn't fit your narrative, so you're not going to pay attention to that. But I tell you what, Asselmo became a Karen awfully quick in this video.
Well, ma'am.
Okay.
You're taking time for yourself. I'm a public citizen. I'm on a public sidewalk recording a public building. Unless you're suspecting me of committing any crimes, then I suggest for you to treat me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me. Ma'am, don't put your hands on me.
I'm just putting you down for my safety.
Why are you, ma'am? Why are you? Am I being detained?
Put that down. You can't have anything in your hands right now. Put that down. I'm ordering you to put that out of your hand.
I do not consent to any seizures or searches.
Drop that out of your hand now.
I do not consent to any seizures or searches.
That's fine. You don't have to.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
I don't want anything.
What crime?
My safety. I'm asking you to put that down.
She's patting you down for what?
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you.
Down for what?
This is an illegal detention. What you're doing right now? Yes, it is, because I am a private citizen gathering content for a story, and you guys are harassing me. I will file a formal complaint on you, ma'am. I guarantee you're gonna leave here before I do, and you're not gonna get my.
So the Asselmo super fangirl who is doing the video initially, obviously doesn't understand protocol. Like, he's showing aggression because he's raising his voice. He's not IDing. He's recording a military installation. She has every right to pat him down and detain him and then pat him down for weapons. I just don't understand why people sit there and say that they hate the police and why they keep getting killed for doing their job. This is their job. Their job is to take idiots off the street like Asselmo and educate them. And I mean, come on, it's such a waste of police resources every time they have to go out there and babysit and educate one of these petulant man children every time they're doing something they know technically that they should not be doing. They know what poster 7 means. They know that what poster 7 says is they can video record and they can photograph and all that with the authorization of the postmaster or somebody else in authority, like a manager or a supervisor. They know this, but that's not going to get them content. So instead, they do this shit right here, fight with the police officers, which is taking our police officers from doing something else. There could be somebody being murdered or beaten up or a kid being kidnapped right at this moment, but they're over there dealing with Asselmo because he is unemployable and too lazy to do anything with his life.
With your engine. You're burning me with your engine in my hand.
Can I call you? Have a seat right now.
I'm not having a seat.
Okay,
I am a private citizen.
In your hands right now.
You guys,
understand?
You guys are violating my rights. You guys are violating my rights. I have not crossed any. What's your name and badge number, sir? What's your name?
Have a seat.
Nobody's identifying themselves. I'm holding my phone because this is for my safety, ma'am.
Hold your phone. Have a seat.
This is for my safety. Do you have any body cams?
Have a seat.
I cannot believe this. You failed to identify yourself. As a government official, I demand for you to contact your supervisor right away.
I'm her supervisor.
You're her supervisor, sir. Yeah. What's your name and badge number, sir?
That's 422. You can read it yourself.
Okay, and what's your last name, sir?
Listen to me. What are you doing here today?
Sir, well, right now what we're doing is wasting our taxpayers' money and harassing good citizen that's only gathering some content for a story. There's no reason for you guys to put your hands on me and search me and do what you do, because this is not Nazi Germany. This is the United States of America, and I will be filing a formal complaint on you, and you will be hearing from me. I promise. Sir?
Do you have an idea?
Sir? I do have an ID. I don't have it on me, and with all due respect, you should know that unless I'm being suspected of a crime, I do not have to provide that information. On the other hand, you guys have failed all to provide me with your name.
Where'd you park your vehicle?
Ma'am, that's none of your concern.
No, it really is my
That's
concern.
none of your concern.
Exactly my
This is the
concern.
You guys do, listen, you guys do whatever you guys want. You have to do then.
Sir, what's your name?
I'm not answering questions.
I've asked him to point that.
Okay, we can do this very simply. We just want to make sure, verify who you are, okay? What you're doing is engaging in suspicious activity. We got called here.
So I'm being detained.
We're
Yes.
talking.
Am I being detained?
Yes.
Yes, you're being,
Under suspicion of what crime?
we're investigating that right now.
Then you have no authority of detaining me. This should be a consensual. This should be a consensual conversation. No, what's your name and badge number, sir?
You know, for Asselmo, it could have been a consensual conversation if he had just behaved like a grown man instead of behaving like a 5-year-old child who was being told no, which is the way he behaves every time he's told no. And this whole Nazi Germany thing, it pisses me off because it only proves that Asselmo and Anthony X and everybody else that uses this against the police does not understand or bothered learning what exactly really happened with the Nazis, what they did. That's what pisses me off, because you're just throwing this around as if it means almost nothing. Just like you throw around the word tyrant. You don't even know what the definition of a freaking tyrant is. You don't know that. You don't obviously understand what happened with the Nazis, because if you really truly did, you would not be calling police officers Nazis. Because I sure as hell don't see any police officers putting you in a gas chamber or using your skin as a lampshade. You're ignorant. All of you. All you frauditors and anti-police. You're ignorant. You just don't want to follow the rules. What's sad is this is basically due to bad parenting or neglect by their parents. They were never raised. They were like, hey, the kid was born, he can do himself now because I don't care. This is how they were raised. No parenting at all, or just completely bad parenting. Except maybe for people like Chili's mom, who actually has a restraining order against Chili, because we don't know what went wrong there, because she seems like a really nice lady. But people like Asselmo, I'm sorry, it just really makes me mad every time they sit there and try and compare police officers with Nazis. I guess I'm not explaining how I feel about it the way I want to, because it just really, really angers me when they do that. But again, it just proves that they have zero education at all.
What's your name and badge number?
Can we?
I appreciate that, sir.
So listen, I'm asking what your name is, okay?
Not gonna happen.
Okay.
So you guys go ahead and do whatever you need to do. I'm not going to answer any more questions. I will be contacting my lawyers for what you guys just did to me. This is invasion of my privacy. This is invasion of my rights. You guys are putting your hands in my pocket. I did not consent to any seizures or searches, and you guys will be hearing from me. I promise you. I promise you. I promise all of you. Thank you for identifying yourself, sir. The only one that's done it since I've been here. I've been illegally detained for absolutely no reason. And this lady right here, which I don't know her name yet, 516, will be hearing from me. And I'm sure you guys have a captain for the internal affairs that's going to want to have a talk about this. I promise you. I promise you. You have illegally detained me. You put my hand in that burning hood, you're going to hear from me.
I think you like this attention right
now. No, you guys are wasting our money. You guys work for the people.
Oh my God, the female officer said it perfectly. He only does this for attention. That is exactly why he does this. And she saw right through his bullshit and she called him out for what it is. And wow, I don't think I've ever seen a grown human, I would say grown man, but he's way too far away from being able to claim manhood. But I've never seen a grown human cry and whine the way Asselmo does. Like, it's insane. I've seen children, toddlers, behave better than him when they're told no. But that female cop, yeah, that was beautiful.
If you're free to go, you're dismissed.
I'm tired of your presence. Dismissed.
Leave. You're free to go. You're dismissed. Because what? We pay for your salary, and you need to stand away from me because
I pay my salary.
You pay your salary. As far as I know, we pay for your salary.
You'd be free to leave if you were willing to. Be
I will be free to leave, and I'm not gonna comply with you because you are a jerk.
Actually, Asselmo, let's get this straight. You don't pay taxes. Period. You don't pay taxes in Rhode Island. You don't pay taxes in any other state that you go into, telling police and government employees that you pay their salaries. No one person pays the salary of the police. It is a community payment. We put in some taxes. I think like 9% of our taxes go to the police. And property taxes are what pay for basically the police salary, 911 call operators, police equipment, like their vehicles and stuff like that. So, yeah, you don't even pay for their vehicles. Even though you like to think you do, you don't. You don't even pay their salary. And guess what? Police officers also pay taxes. So their taxes are put into their paychecks as well. That's the difference, Asselmo. A police officer pays taxes. You do not. You are not the boss of them. This is not like you pay your whoever, like somebody like your gardener or your pool boy or a maid or something like that. That's what you think, or an employee. If you owned a business and you had a couple employees and you paid their salaries, that's not the same thing as our taxes going towards police officers' salaries. But you're too dumb to realize that or even look it up and learn that what you say is ultimately stupid.
Sure. Yes. There's other ways of approaching people, and I'm not a fucking criminal for you guys to be treating me like this. Okay? Well, apparently you would do the same thing if somebody approaches you demanding stuff from you after you haven't done absolutely nothing.
You're filming at a restricted area. They have legitimate concerns about why you're over here.
They can have whatever concerns, and you guys should be professional enough to post up over here and ask people whatever it is that you need to ask in a nicely manner, not aggressive manner like the unidentified officer over here does. Well, I don't know you, but I appreciate you identifying yourself.
Start over.
I would definitely speak to you, sir. What was your name again? Laquali. Okay, well, sir, I appreciate you identifying yourself as your duties, demand.
Yes. They asked you what you were doing, right? They assume you were filming the property.
I am.
You can't film the property.
Then that's
why we're here.
That's
the only reason why.
I am going to have to disagree with you, sir, because this is a public sidewalk.
What's the reason why?
Please, under arrest. I'm under arrest. Oh, for what crime?
Right now, disorderly conduct.
Wow, guys, for right now, disorderly conduct? Does that mean they're going to try to falsify some other charges? This department definitely just opened themselves up for some civil litigation. What's really scary is, if they act this way in broad daylight on camera, can you imagine getting pulled over by them off camera at midnight? Hell no. Either way, great job at exposing them. Make sure to go check out Auditing America on his YouTube.
No, that does not mean that they're going to imagine new charges and charge him with it. But he is committing disorderly conduct. And so you know what disorderly conduct is because you don't seem to. A basic definition of disorderly conduct defines the offense as a person who recklessly, knowingly, or intentionally engages in fighting or in tumultuous conduct, makes unreasonable noise and continues to do so after being asked to stop, or disrupts a lawful assembly of persons, commits disorderly conduct. What he was committing was abusive conduct, which means verbal, nonverbal, or physical conduct. It's not rocket science, but I know it doesn't fit your guys' narrative, so you're not gonna tell the truth. Wait, did Asselmo literally just say, I'm not a criminal? Doesn't he say that like consistently that he's not a criminal? Because we do have all of his criminal record to prove that he is a liar and that he is a criminal. I mean, we've got kidnapping with intent to commit a felony, attempted sexual battery, domestic violence, grand theft third degree, and those are just a couple. Like, that's not even all of it. Yeah, so that was about it. I mean, it's just this Anthony X continuing to talk about how horrible the police are and how great Asselmo is. And we all know how Asselmo is. It doesn't matter if this was his second video ever made or the current one that he has made. We all know that he is nothing but dumpster trash and unintelligent, uneducated criminal who will never change his ways. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Be safe. Love ya.